Most people will never see these trucks. They don't appear on highways, they don't show up in parades, and they never get shown to the public. These are the secret workhorses of the U.S. military monsters built for missions where failure is not an option. From desert convoys to nuclear transport, from special ops mobility to machines designed for environments no civilian vehicle could survive, get ready, because these are the 10 U.S. military trucks ordinary people never get to see. Number 1. Oshkosh M1070 HEMTT. The Oshkosh M1070 Heavy Equipment Transporter is one of the most imposing machines in the entire U.S. military fleet, yet most Americans will go their entire lives without seeing one in person. The reason is simple. This 8x8 monster exists almost exclusively for transporting the M1 Abrams tank, the Bradley IFV, and other armored behemoths that cannot move long distances on their tracks. The M1070's presence on public highways would require escorts, traffic closures, and special approval because the complete truck-trailer combination can weigh well over 100 tons when loaded. That alone keeps it away from everyday roads. The truck is powered by more than 700 horsepower, uses a specialized heavy-duty transmission, and pulls a 40-wheel M1000 trailer designed to distribute massive loads across rough terrain or desert sand without sinking. In war zones like Iraq and Afghanistan, the HET became the backbone of armored mobility. Instead of sending tanks rolling through dangerous streets where IEDs could destroy their tracks, the HET transported them with added protection kits, including blast-resistant armor, ballistic glass, and run-flat tires. Another reason civilians never see the M1070 is its mission classification. Tank movements, especially inside the United States, are often sensitive, controlled, and scheduled during low-visibility hours. These convoys rarely use civilian highways unless absolutely necessary and are forbidden from stopping in visible public areas. Drivers undergo intense certification because maneuvering a 100-ton load through tight spaces requires extreme skill. Even on bases, HET operations occur in specialized lots far from visitor access. Photos of HET convoys are tightly regulated because they often reveal strategic training operations. The M1070 is not just a truck, it is a strategic asset designed to relocate America's heaviest armor quickly, quietly, and safely. And because of the sheer scale and secrecy involved, this giant remains almost invisible to ordinary people. Number 2. M984 HEMTT Recovery Truck. The M984 HEMTT Wrecker is one of the most rugged recovery vehicles ever created, yet its work remains unseen by most Americans. Unlike civilian tow trucks that pull sedans or occasional semi-trailers, the M984 rescues 20 to 30-ton armored vehicles from ditches, deserts, and battlefields under enemy fire. Its job is so specialized and so dangerous that the truck rarely leaves secure military environments. The 8x8 chassis provides incredible off-road capability, while its 445 horsepower Caterpillar diesel engine powers massive hydraulic systems. The HEMTT's crane can lift disabled armored trucks, flip overturned vehicles, and extract heavy machinery trapped in mud, water, or sand. Its winch system alone can produce tens of thousands of pounds of pulling force, enough to drag out a vehicle buried almost to the axles. Unlike supply trucks or troop carriers, the Wrecker is tied to missions involving damaged, destroyed, or ambushed vehicles, operations that are never open to the public. These activities often occur in forward operating bases, restricted training zones, or classified convoys. During the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, the M984 became a lifeline. If a convoy was struck by an IED, the Wrecker was responsible for retrieving every vehicle that couldn't move on its own. Because these missions often involved combat damage, classified cargo, or sensitive equipment, the Wrecker's actions were seldom filmed or publicly discussed. Even in the US, civilians rarely encounter the M984 because it is not used for disaster relief or state missions. It remains inside military installations, except for emergency transport. Its sheer size, noise, and intimidating presence make it unsuitable for public roads. The M984 is a battlefield savior, quiet, powerful, essential, and almost completely invisible to ordinary Americans. Number 3. M1120 HEMTT LHS. If there is one truck that represents the future of military logistics, it's the M1120 load handling system. yet almost no civilian ever sees one. This truck revolutionized how armies move supplies by giving a single operator the power to load or unload 10-ton flat racks without leaving the cabin. Unlike civilian logistics systems that rely on cranes and forklifts, the M1120 uses a hydraulic arm that slides under a flat rack, lifts it, and locks it onto the chassis, all in 30 to 60 seconds. This speed makes it invaluable in war zones where troops must load ammunition, fuel, water tanks, shelters, or even missile pods under threat. The reason civilians never encounter the M1120 is that it operates almost entirely in secure military zones, especially during missions involving ammunition resupply or classified equipment movement. The flat racks it carries often contain sensitive cargo that cannot appear in public. The truck is also too tall, too heavy, and too mission-specific for civilian roadways. Its specialized training requirements mean only soldiers assigned to logistics units operate it. When the M1120 is deployed inside the U.S., it typically moves between bases, training grounds, or depots, never through cities or public highways where exposure would compromise operational secrecy. In Iraq and Afghanistan, the M1120's ability to load under fire allowed resupply missions that would have been impossible with conventional vehicles. It built the backbone of modular supply chains that could adapt instantly on the battlefield. Yet because this truck rarely participates in public exercises, relief operations, or ceremonial displays, the average American does not even know it exists. The M1120 is a silent logistics powerhouse, fast, efficient, and hidden. Number 4. PLS, Palletized Load System. The Palletized Load System, PLS, is one of the most advanced military logistics trucks ever created, designed for the U.S. Army's heaviest and fastest supply missions. Because it carries classified rocket pods, artillery ammunition, and mission modules, the PLS is almost never visible to the public. This 10x10 mammoth uses a load-handling arm similar to the M1120, but scaled for larger payloads. A single soldier can load a 16.5-ton flat rack in less than a minute, even in rough terrain. It is especially critical for the resupply of MLRS multiple launch rocket system and HIMARS units, which require rapid loading of rocket pods. The PLS is built to operate close to the front lines, where civilian vehicles cannot survive. Its armored cab protects against small arms fire and explosions, and its advanced suspension allows it to move heavy loads over mud, snow, and sand. Because it often hauls ammunition pods, high-value electronics, or classified support modules, the truck's missions are heavily restricted. Even inside bases, access to PLS loading zones is limited to personnel with specific clearance. Civilians also never see the PLS because of its oversized dimensions. Its height, weight, and wheelbase make it unsuitable for normal highways. It is almost always transported by rail or by military escorts when moved between depots. When deployed abroad, the PLS forms a logistical lifeline, delivering munitions, fuel, and equipment directly to the artillery units that keep the Army fighting. Because of its role in ammunition logistics and its constant proximity to classified weapons systems, the PLS operates entirely in the shadows. Despite being one of the most important trucks in modern warfare, it remains almost unknown to civilians. Number 5. Oshkosh MTVR. The Oshkosh MTVR, Medium Tactical Vehicle Replacement, is so capable off-road that it can follow tanks across terrain that destroys commercial trucks in minutes. Yet ordinary Americans rarely see it. The MTVR was designed specifically for the U.S. Marine Corps' expeditionary missions, amphibious assaults, beach landings, remote outposts, and frontline logistics. Its advanced Take-4 independent suspension gives it an incredible 16 inches of wheel travel, allowing it to climb rocks, cross trenches, and charge through mud and dunes at high speeds. It can carry 7 tons off-road and 15 tons on paved surfaces, making it one of the most efficient military cargo trucks ever built. Why civilians don't see it? First, the Marine Corps operates mostly on remote bases or amphibious training zones far from public access. Second, the MTVR is often used overseas in rapid deployment missions where secrecy and operational security are paramount. During conflicts in the Middle East, the MTVR served as the backbone of marine logistics, transporting ammunition, fuel, construction materials, and troop equipment in environments where civilian trucks simply could not survive. The armored MTVR variant added blast-resistant plating, allowing Marines to operate in IED-heavy areas. The truck is also too large, too loud, and too mission-oriented for civilian roads. It rarely participates in National Guard missions or public disaster relief. And even during base open houses, it is displayed only occasionally. Because it is tied to the Marine Corps' most demanding combat operations, the MTVR remains a hidden powerhouse, exceptionally capable, yet nearly invisible to the general population. Number 6. FMTV A2. The FMTV A2 is the newest generation of the Army's medium-duty tactical truck series, and although thousands have been ordered, civilians almost never see them. The A2 variant includes major technological upgrades, digital cockpit displays, improved ballistic armor, blast-resistant underbodies, central tire inflation systems, upgraded suspensions, and advanced communication interfaces. It even supports future autonomous convoy operations. This makes the A2 one of the most modern military trucks ever fielded. Yet despite its numbers, the FMTV A2 is rarely used for public missions like disaster relief or National Guard operations. Instead, it is assigned primarily to active-duty combat units where it transports classified communications gear, drone control modules, radar equipment, and electronic warfare systems. These payloads require restricted access, meaning the trucks themselves are kept away from civilian areas. Most training for the A2 occurs on closed military ranges, where its new systems can be tested without exposing capabilities to the public. Unlike older FMTVs that occasionally appeared during hurricane relief efforts, the A2 is heavier, more armored, and more specialized, making it unsuitable for civilian infrastructure. Even its silhouette and armor profile are relatively unknown because the Army restricts photography during deployment. The truck is expected to remain the backbone of U.S. tactical mobility for decades, yet it will do so mostly in the shadows, serving combat brigades, artillery units, cybersecurity teams, and rapid deployment forces. The FMTV A2 represents the future of military transport, high-tech, heavily protected, and almost completely hidden from ordinary American life. Number 7. The M983A4 HEMTT is one of the most strategically important trucks in the world, yet it is intentionally kept out of public view. This heavy-duty 8x8 tractor is responsible for towing components of the Patriot missile system, one of America's primary defenses against enemy aircraft and ballistic missiles. Whenever a Patriot battery is deployed or relocated, it is the M983A4 that quietly moves the radar systems, launchers, control stations, and power units. These relocations are extremely sensitive because Patriot batteries are high-value targets for enemy forces. Because of this, the truck rarely moves openly on public roads. When it does, it is accompanied by armed escorts, detailed route planning, and strict no-stopping protocols. Movements often occur at night or during periods of low traffic. Photos of these convoys are discouraged because they can reveal the location and readiness of America's air defense network. The M983A4 itself is built for rugged environments. Its powerful diesel engine, heavy-duty cooling systems, and reinforced chassis allow it to haul large missile components across deserts, mountains, and off-road battle positions. In forward-deployed bases, these trucks operate near classified radar systems and advanced missile launchers, which means access is restricted to personnel with proper clearance. Even military personnel outside air defense units rarely interact with them. Because Patriot systems are active across Europe, the Middle East, and the Pacific, the M983A4 is constantly in use but almost never seen. It is the quiet workhorse behind one of America's most important defense systems. Number 8. Oshkosh LVSR. The LVSR, Logistics Vehicle System Replacement, is the Marine Corps' most powerful heavy logistics truck, a 10x10 machine capable of carrying more than 22 tons across hostile terrain. It is rarely seen by civilians because it operates almost entirely in expeditionary environments and remote training zones. The LVSR was built to support Marine units conducting amphibious landings, long-range deployments, and rapid mobility operations, missions that never occur near towns or highways. Its massive Caterpillar engine, independent hydraulic suspension, and armored cab make it a beast designed for 21st century warfare. The LVSR can climb steep grades, ford water, and cross broken landscapes while fully loaded. It often works in conjunction with HIMARS rocket launchers, amphibious assault vehicles, engineering units, and fuel support detachments. Because it often carries critical logistics, such as fuel pods, rocket pods, or classified resupply modules, the LVSR's missions are generally off-limits to the public. During combat operations overseas, the LVSR proved essential for delivering supplies to Marines stationed in remote outposts. Its ability to travel where civilian trucks cannot makes it a core component of Marine expeditionary warfare. Even within U.S. bases, the truck is typically stored in areas that visitors cannot access because of its connection to high-value equipment. The LVSR's size, noise, and specialized capabilities make it one of the most impressive yet least visible trucks in the American arsenal. It is built for the wars of the future, not for public roads. Number 9. HEMTT. The HEMTT, Heavy Expanded Mobility Ammunition Trailer, is one of the strangest and least known military transport systems because of its highly restricted mission, hauling massive quantities of missiles, rockets, and artillery ammunition. Its entire existence revolves around payloads that are dangerous, explosive, and often classified. As a result, HEMTT convoys operate far from civilian eyes. Even within military bases, access to ammunition transport zones is heavily limited. Soldiers who work around these systems require extensive training and strict clearance. The HEMTT is matched with powerful heavy tractors like the M983 or PLS, giving it the ability to carry rocket pods for HIMARS or MLRS systems. Its long multi-axle trailer distributes weight across uneven terrain, allowing ammunition transport even in remote war zones. The suspension is designed to minimize shock, protecting sensitive payloads from detonation risks. Because of its mission, the truck-trailer combination nearly always travels with armed escorts. In the U.S., HEMTT movements are scheduled during low-visibility periods and often disguised within larger convoys. Maps and routes are classified, and the public is never informed of their presence. This secrecy is critical because ammunition transport is among the most vulnerable and high-risk operations in the military. HEMTT units are rarely photographed, and most civilians do not even know this system exists, even though it plays a vital role in ensuring artillery units never run out of firepower. The HEMTT is a ghost in the world of military logistics, present everywhere ammunition is needed, but never seen. Number 10. M1300 Tractor. No U.S. military truck is more secretive, more restricted, or more protected than the M1300 Enhanced Heavy Equipment Transporter. This specially modified tractor is engineered for one chilling purpose: transporting nuclear weapons and nuclear components. Because of this mission, the M1300 remains completely invisible to the general public. Movements involving this truck are among the most classified logistics activities in the U.S. government. Convoys are escorted by heavily armed security forces, specialized federal units, and sometimes even aerial surveillance. The M1300 is an enhanced version of the M1070 HET, reinforced with advanced braking systems, weight distribution technology, and stability mechanisms required to carry nuclear materials safely. It typically operates with the M1000 trailer, forming a combination capable of hauling some of the heaviest and most sensitive cargo on Earth. Routes are planned in total secrecy, often changed at the last minute to minimize risk. Civilian traffic may be quietly rerouted without explanation. GPS signals may be jammed in the area. Communications may be encrypted beyond military standards. Most military personnel will never see an M1300 convoy in their entire career, and photos are extremely rare. When nuclear assets are moved, everything is designed to maintain total invisibility. Even the trucks themselves often travel disguised, with no obvious markings. The M1300 is the ultimate hidden military vehicle, a machine that transports weapons capable of ending civilization, yet remains unseen by nearly everyone. It represents the highest level of operational secrecy in the U.S. military. Hidden from civilian eyes, these trucks carry the weight of missions that shape history. Their engineering is extreme, their purpose classified, and their capabilities far beyond anything built for the public. If you enjoyed this look into America's unseen military fleet, hit like, subscribe, and tell me which truck surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned because the next video dives even deeper into machines the world was never meant to know about.